do you have scraps in your stash, in particular strips, that you really don't know what to do with? Well, I know I have a bunch, and I came across these Tailored Expressions Maps Easy Strips that help me create different designs to make a beautiful card. Hi crafters, Karen here from Karen's Crafting Company, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I use one of these maps to create a beautiful card in conjunction with my color cubes. So the Google Assistant chose number 232 for my card today. And as you can see from the color palette, we're looking at a lot of neutrals. And when I first saw this card, I thought, well, this could be a nice masculine card. So on the reverse side, they give you the different names of the colors, and then they show you the different shades. So what I'm going to be using today with my cardstock is I came across this platinum grayish color piece of scrap in my stash. It was really the only color I had that came pretty close. And then for the other four colors, I will be using this neutrals paper pad from scrapbook.com. So my peach, marigold, chocolate, and dark brown will come from this pad. Now what I'm going to do, or what I did do off screen, was I took those colors and I cut them into strips already, just to save time on the video. This white piece of cardstock, I will be doing some second generation stamping, and I need that scrap piece to help me with that. My sentiments for today will be from this Chunky Greetings, and I'll be using that Enjoy Your Day stamp set. And then I will also be using this wood grain embossing folder to give some dimension to those strips. I also have this double-sided adhesive roll to adhere the map onto it so that it helps hold it in place while I layer my strips onto that map. So the great thing again about these is that it includes 20 pre-printed maps, and you get 5 of each of those patterns that you see on the back there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started on the card. So like I said, I'll be using this map for today's project. And if you look, it gives you a starting point. It shows you arrows of how to lay out the strips. And so because I'm going to put that square down first, I'm going to go ahead and ink my sentiments. And I'm doing that because I am using a pigment ink and I want that to have some time to dry, since pigment ink takes a little bit longer to dry versus dye inks or oxides. So I'm going to bring in my stamp, the Enjoy Your Day, and I'm going to use my stamping platform in case I don't get a good impression. So I'm going to lay this on there, and I will bring in that piece of scrap cardstock, layer that over the square, and then I'll use my Pinecone VersaFine Clair ink to ink up my sentiment, and then I will just do regular stamping, remove the piece of scrap, and then I will do the second generation onto that square. I kind of wanted that lighter brown. I felt like the pine cone just itself was too dark. Now I'm going to use my adhesive roll to place my map onto it. So I'm just going to set my sentiment to the side since I don't really need it just yet. And I'm going to just roll out a piece here, and then I will lay the map onto the sticky sheet. Now I am putting it face down because I need that adhesive to hold the strips when I layer the strips onto the map. So I'm just carefully lining that up, making sure I try to get it as close to the edge as I can. And then I just trim it off with my scissors. This is a transparent double-sided adhesive, and I got this from Amazon. And I like the transparency because I can, definitely see the, the map through it. And, and it's fine because, it's going to peel off, so you'll be able to, see the maps perfectly fine once you remove that top layer. So I'm just cutting off this excess piece, and then I'm going to remove the back layer. Now, if I was thinking, I would have brought in my pick tool, or like a weeding tool. Like if you have a Cricut machine, or an electronic die cutter, or even a Sizzix, and you have a weeding tool or poker tool, that would have really helped here. You can see I'm struggling trying to get that piece in the corner. I'm struggling, I can't get it. And as I'm trying to pull that back, I'm thinking to myself, where is my picker? Because that definitely would have helped. So I kind of just flip it over and I try again. And here I finally got the sheet. But let me tell you, to save that aggravation, the picking tool would totally come in handy. So I'm going to lay my square into the center, and that will take care of my sentiment piece. So I'm just lining that up along the edges. You see all those lines, just making sure that I'm getting that lined up. Now I didn't cut that at exactly 2 1/8 like it says on there. I cut it just a tad shy. So here's my wood grain embossing folder, and off screen I did, like I said, I took those colors, pieces of cardstock, and I ran them through my embossing folder, and then I cut them into strips. Now, the great thing about the embossing folder is you have an embossed side and a debossed. That's the embossing side, and then this is the debossing. So I definitely want to use the debossing side. Anytime I use this wood grain embossing folder, I just like the debossed side so much better. I don't know what it is. It just attracts my eye better than the embossed. And again, it's your choice. If you have that embossing folder and you like the embossed side, by all means, go ahead and use that side. It really is a personal preference. So now what I'm going to do is I'm starting with the top color. And again, you can start with any color. I guess I just have it in my brain that whenever I'm using color cubes, I always start with the top color and I just follow the colors in order. And that's all I'm doing here. So I'm, just finding different areas of each section of that map to place those colors. And I want to do that, I believe it's 5 times that I want to have the colors go around. So I'm just, I'm pulling back the adhesive and, just trying to, line everything up, and, those lines come in handy. So I realize here that so I do have 4 of the platinum, and now I'm going into the peach. So I'm going to do the same thing. I am just going to, find a starting point and, just start layering. And I'm trying to figure out where I want this to go. Again, it really doesn't matter. And there are several ways that you could do this. So one way is you could do it the way I'm doing, where I'm just going to put all the strips out at one time. And then you just cut off all the excess. Or another way to do it is you can layer the strips out and then you can trim them as you go along. And then you can continue to use those same strips on that same map. So it's really entirely up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with. I just like to get it all done in one shot. And, either way, you're going to have excess strips left over. And you may have enough left over where you could do another card. And you'll see, after I lay all this out, you'll see the pieces that I have left, and you'll see the scraps that I have left too. So again, I'm just moving along here, trying to figure out where I want to put these pieces, lining them up, making sure that I get them in between those black lines. And again, this adhesive really is helpful for this. Once you lay it down, so you gotta be careful, because once you lay it down, it's really hard to remove it. So you really want to make sure that you get it in place the first time, or it's going to be pretty challenging to pull that off the tape. It is strong adhesive. So I'm moving on to the chocolate, and I'm just going around, and I'm layering these pieces. And I like the idea of the neutral colors. Again, this is great for a masculine card. And, it's really, you can use it for any occasion, really. But those colors just spoke to me that, a masculine card would be a good card to make today. So that's what I did. So again, I'm just coming down. I've got, again, here I'm showing you, here's another way. You just cut off one of those strips, cut it off again. And then, for those tiny corners like that, it's probably better just to use those smaller pieces. So now that I've got everything laid on there, I need to now trim all that down. So I'm just going to take my Tim Holtz 9-inch scissors. They're non-stick, and I am just going to cut along the edges, and I'm getting as close to that map as I possibly can to trim off all of those pieces of cardstock. And you can see as I'm cutting, I've got a nice pile of those strips. So I can reuse these strips for either maybe the same map or maybe another map that I have in this pack. So that is the front of the card. So now I'm going to bring in my card base that I cut and pre-scored off camera. And we're going to get the my ATG gun, and I'm going to put this card together. Now this will fit the entire front of the card. If you want to trim this down, if you want to add if you have the A2 frames, you can use that. If you have any of the inverted rectangle frames, you can use those. You can use whatever you want if you want to trim it down, or you can leave it as is like I did. And, lots of options. So this is my finished card, and, I really enjoyed using the Tailored Expressions Maps Easy Strips. And if you have them, I hope that you'll give them a try. Until my next video, have a great day.